Yeah, I think we've got an airplane on the ground here, Dennis, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't even look like an airplane, unfortunately.
It is 15:04 on the afternoon of 24th January 2024. The air over Camden Airport is clear, the wind barely registering at 4 knots. Beside holding point Alpha, an instructor stands on the ramp, watching a student pilot work through a checklist one final time before taxiing toward the runway. In 6 lessons across 2 months and 4 hours of dual time on the Cessna 172, this pilot has earned today. The instructor assessed them this afternoon as demonstrating exceptional handling proficiency. The student was ready. The instructor stepped back, watched the aircraft roll forward, and waited. The student would never complete the circuit. The lesson had begun at 1300 with a structured briefing, 4 types of approaches to be flown with the instructor aboard before a solo decision. By 1431, the circuits were underway. By 1456, the decision had been made. The student was competent. At 1456:50, the instructor called the tower. Full stop and taxi for a student first solo. Acknowledged. The instructor climbed out of the aircraft at the run-up bay, told the student to complete the takeoff checklist and do everything needed to feel comfortable, then stepped away. At 15:03:41, the student called for taxi. At 15:04:39, cleared for takeoff. The instructor watched the aircraft climb, turn crosswind, turn downwind, normal. Textbook ATSB data confirmed it. Level at 1,400 feet, speed decelerating from 100 knots towards 79, exactly as briefed. At exactly the right position, abeam the landing threshold. At 15:07:01, the student transmitted. Charlie Papa Quebec, downwind, full stop. Correct phraseology, steady voice. 7 seconds later, the controller cleared the aircraft to land. The student acknowledged. No further transmissions were received. At the point where the aircraft should have turned onto base, the nose pitched down. 2 witnesses looked up and saw it. Steep, wings level, and heard what they described as an engine over-revving. CCTV footage from a building 340 meters away captured 7 frames. Nose approximately 60 degrees down. Wings approximately level. The descent lasted 6 seconds. At 15:08:34, the aircraft struck a paddock 1.6 nautical miles west of the runway. Airspeed at impact was almost certainly above 150 knots, more than 3 times the estimated stall speed. The impact was not survivable.
16-year-old killed when his light plane crashed in Sydney southwest late yesterday was on his first ever solo flight. He was training for a recreational pilot's licence approved by instructors to fly without supervision.
Audio from air traffic control captured the moment a pilot flying overhead spotted the wreck.
Yeah, I think we've got an airplane on the ground here, Dennis, but it doesn't look good.
Thanks, mate. If you can give me position as soon as you can, please.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Dennis. Brad, you know Brownlow Loop Hill Road?
Okay, mate. Can you see any movement there?
Mate, it doesn't even look like an airplane, unfortunately.
We know what happened. The harder question is why. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau examined every available avenue. Weather, clear, winds light. Aircraft, no pre-impact. Structural failure, no control defects, engine producing power at impact. Medical, no known conditions. Toxicology, clear. The aircraft manufacturer reviewed the data directly and was unambiguous. The nose-down attitude was not caused by a stall, and the aircraft would not have pitched down spontaneously with serviceable controls. To maintain that attitude through an accelerating dive, the manufacturer advised would have required the pilot to push harder and harder against the aircraft's own tendency to return to level flight. This was not a passive event. Seat slide, autopilot interference, sudden incapacitation. Each was examined and found inconsistent with the data. Wings remained approximately level, heading held. The descent steepened continuously with no evidence of a spin or conventional loss of control. The final investigation report concluded that a sustained forward control yoke input was almost certainly applied throughout the descent. The reason for that input could not be determined. That is where the record stops. There is no clean causal chain here. No dismissed warning, no threshold crossed one time too many. What remains is a harder lesson, and it belongs to every instructor who will one day send a student solo.